Hi everyone, Diana Rankin here. So good to see you, and we have some of you already here. I'm so happy. Sima says, "Hi, ma'am. How are you?" Well, it's Friday afternoon. I'm doing fine, thank you. Hello, my dear friend, Amicala World. Says hi, Diana and Philip. Happy Friday with sunflowers, or I believe those are sunflowers. Anyway, they're beautiful flowers. Thank you so much. Sima says, please, ma'am, answer me. I'm depressed very much. I'm sorry, I'm not a therapist. I'm a psychic. And the best thing I can tell you is I am so sorry you're depressed, but please, if you are in the US, call 988 988. That's the suicide prevention number. I don't know what country you're in, but if you're in the US, that that number 988 will be able to direct you to those who can help you. What we do on Fridays is, and this particular Friday, which happens to be the last Friday of the month, we're going to be doing predictions. And so I'm unaware that I could help you privately. Um, if you wish to go to my website and get the website's right below, and get my number and call me. My phones are turned off now because I'm doing this video, but you're welcome to call me and I can talk to you privately. But this is not the venue for that. But please, if you're in the US, call 988. That's the suicide prevention. Um, Certainly, all of us who are listening to my voice are going to be holding you in our hearts and in prayer, and hope you're able to get through this rough time that you're in. I'm not sure what you're going through or where you are, but this is not the venue that can help you. So please get a hold of someone who can, please. And again, if you're willing to wait till I finish this video, my phone will be turned back on and you're welcome to call me. But again, I'm not a therapist. I am a psychic, and there is a difference. And even though I'm a coach and can do counseling, I'm not qualified to work with someone if you are suicidal. Please reach out to those who can help you. Thank you. Moving on. Sheila says, greetings from Amsterdam. Hi, Diana. Hope you are doing well. And Sima, again, I'm begging you, please reach out for help. Reaching to this venue isn't, you need to reach elsewhere. You need to that 988 number, and that goes for anyone who is depressed and contemplating ending their lives. Please, it's not worth it. Judith says, hello, Diana. Hello, Judith. I hope you're feeling better. Judith was ill recently, and so I hope you're all better. I think it was last week you were telling us you didn't feel well. So, and again, Sima, we're all sending you prayers and love, and we're hugging you and holding you, but we are going to move on. And you can all see our little Piper. Yes, she knows her name very well, doesn't she? Okay, these are our predictions for March. You know, Philip always gives us the bad news, or the news I don't really like even hearing about, letting alone. We're getting some more messages here. Judith is saying 988. Yes, 988, please, Sima. And Judith is all saying almost better for her. And Sheila is saying Piper. Yes, Piper. Yes, she is. And Annika says, Sima sends you light and love. You are not alone. God loves and surrounds you at all times. So Sima, please know we are all holding you. We are all loving you. And we are asking you to please reach out to those who are equipped and able to help you. Again, if you're in the US, the hotline is 988. I don't know what country you're in, is the problem, but please let us know you're okay, that you are reaching out for help, and know that we are all holding you and loving you. Okay. Moving on, we will get a message also for the month or the week, however you want to look at it, for one of my books, The Master's Book of Answers by Phillip. And Simka, we heard from her. She says, okay, ma'am, thank you. And Annika Roll says, all is well with 3 hearts. And Sima, thank you for telling us that you are going to, if you're in the U.S., call 988. That's the Suicide Prevention Network, and they will be able to help you. If you're not in the U.S., I don't know what you have in the country you're in. Forgive me for that. But know that we are all holding you and loving you. As you know, this particular book is just a book of wisdoms, and every page is different, so we will get our message. When I write these out and when I read them to you, the predictions from Phillip, my spirit guide, what happens is Phillip always gives us the yucky stuff, the stuff I don't want to hear, and I doubt that anyone really wants to hear it. But he always gives us hope at the end and gives us a way we can take action within our own lives to make life better. So if you are still with us, Simba, please listen to the end, because that will give you hope. Okay? And it is a little bit long, so I want to get moving here. Okay, here we go. It must be noted that predictions follow the energy path most prominent. By this, we mean energy is being reformed into pathways even as we speak. These pathways that have the most energy are the ones most in that dimension will experience. So what he's really saying there is everything is energy. We know that. Everything is energy. And so energy changes form. You can't destroy it, but it changes form. It's already there. We're not creating it. We're just changing its form. And so we are creating these pathways that we are living. And the pathways that have the most energy are the ones most in that dimension will experience. So what most people in the 3rd dimension are creating in our minds and our emotions, that's the pathways we're creating. Phillip goes on to say, many pathways exist as the future and present are one, as is the past and present. This is easy to understand. It's not. But this is easy to understand if you think of the reality of someone living in Canada, shall we say, is quite different from someone living in China, which is true. My life is very different from one of my neighbors' lives, et cetera, et cetera. My life is also very different from Piper's or her mine. She's right behind me here. I can't move my chair. So what Phillip is saying here is that we don't always understand what's going on over there. But if we live in this reality, our reality here is different than someone else's reality. But depending upon the emotional state that we live in, that's the reality we're creating for our lives, plus the lives of many others. He goes on. These pathways are created, or shall we say energized, by thoughts and emotions of humans. This means humans have the ability to create whatever future they desire. Other factors, of course, are creating as well. The Earth and her atmosphere, for example, are able to change energy forms. This is true of many. This said, it is humans that have the greatest impact on the future. So let us see what they are creating for March. I hope that's somewhat understandable. You know, we can get things intellectually. It's harder to have the experience of it. But once we have the experience of it, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I get it. So March just may be that time more of us can have the experience of it. Okay, so here we go. The winds of change will blow strong. A heat wave will blow across Australia with seas reaching new heights. Floods will come to coastal cities in the southern hemisphere. In the far north, in the Arctic Circle, another large iceberg will take to the sea. This will cause destruction along the coast. Norway will be affected, as will northern Scotland, primarily the islands. The eastern coast of Alaska, Canada, and into the New England coast will see the waters swell. This will also affect Newfoundland. Expect a windstorm throughout Central Africa and up through the Bering Sea. Wow. In the U.S., California should expect more rough weather and a major fire sparked by lightning in a national forest. Be on the lookout, and a catastrophe can be avoided. This same is true for Arizona. Texas may also see a major storm, but that may wait until April, which is when the Gulf area in all states will be vulnerable. Spring storms will be strong this month. Expect winds and storms, including tornadoes and hail, across much of the U.S. and Canada. Snow will continue to fall in the mountains and upper Midwest. The upper peninsula of Michigan should expect a more severe than normal storm, while Wisconsin will be calmer. And honestly, I don't know why particular states are pointed at or pointed out. I really don't. And he doesn't mention my state, Ohio. Here we go on. No. Political uprisings will continue. There will be uprisings and turmoil in the Middle East and Africa. Jerusalem is not above starting a war. Ugh. The war in Ukraine will continue. There is a possibility Russia will move into Poland as well. A lack of soldiers may stop a Poland invasion, but plans are being considered. I think what he's telling us is that even though we hear a lot of people in Russia are against the invasion of Ukraine, Putin isn't alone in this. Darn. Here we go on. In the U.S., there is a slight, this is interesting. There is a slight possibility of handcuffs being put on the former president. We emphasize slight, however. He is to undergo more questioning as those around him. This is not the Mueller investigation, and Barr is not in a place of authority. That's interesting because for those of you who are unaware of what's going on or went on in the U.S., Barr was the Attorney General, and Mueller was a special investigator or I'm not sure what the title was. But Mueller came out, and Barr would not allow Mueller to say everything that came out in the investigation, because it was, I believe, and I could be wrong about this, attorneys will correct me on this one, but I believe it was found in the Mueller report that there were criminal activities in by Trump and his administration, but Barr banned that. And so this is saying this is not the Mueller investigation, and Barr is not in a place of authority. Interesting. Phillip goes on to say, although we do see the former U.S. president, Mr. Trump, in handcuffs, we see this as a metaphor rather than a reality. Much of what he would like to do is being hampered by investigations. There is also dissension within the family, which will cause harm to those who have broken laws. News of all this will become known this month. The action many would like to see taken will not yet take place on the national level. Expect upsetting news to come out of Georgia. New York will stay quiet for now. Okay, enough of that. Here we go. The law of attraction boomed forth not so long ago, but for many impatience let it go. Too often it was misunderstood and misused. By this we mean it was used to create power, money, material goods wanted by the ego. A resurgence of the law of attraction is taking place. However, the name must be changed, for it draws in those who desire to create from the ego rather than from the higher spiritual self. A revolution of spiritual self-creation is in the making. By this we mean the energy is growing for the creation of a kinder, more loving world. As people begin to understand energy and how they are creating their world, which in turn creates the greater world, they will more and more begin to use this law of attraction to better the world for all. And that law of attraction there is in lowercase rather than uppercase, as it was when he talked about the title. More stories of human kindness will begin to be known among the rubble of earthquakes in Turkey and Syria and school shootings in the US, both of which will continue in March. To counter that which you call destructive, balance your destructive thoughts with loving thoughts. We suggest you create a mantra such as I am love to chant daily and to counter any destructive thoughts you notice arising. Now, this next paragraph's the real exciting thing, I think. The feminine energy will rise strong this month. Use it to create a more loving world. That feminine energy, which is the energy of love, the energy of giving, the energy of receiving, that energy, as Phillip says, the feminine energy will rise strong this month. Use it to create a more loving world. And we are sending that love to you, Sima. We are sending that love to you and to all beings around the world. Sheila says, yes, and in 2 or 3 years, better times come and create a better world. Yes, that is what Phillip is telling us, that this, he told us before that we had made the shift. We've made the shift, which is why there's so much backlash. Chaos always comes before creation. But yes, 2 or 3 years, better times. And I think we're already seeing that in our world. And Sheila says, woohoo! Yes, woohoo! That doesn't mean that March is going to be easy. You heard a lot of the stuff that's going to happen. And it doesn't mean in the US, we have a gun problem and have had for a long time. And it doesn't mean that's going to ease up any. But what it does mean is more and more with that feminine rising, that love, that energy of kindness and compassion, but strength. We women are strong as well as loving, of giving and receiving. This feminine energy will rise strong this month. Use it to create a more loving world. I always say at my age, I'm 77, and I say that my generation, we had the opportunity, even back in the 60s, to start ushering in and help flip into that feminine energy and help bring forth more kindness. And I'm so excited and grateful that the younger generations, even those just the boomers and the Gen X and the young people of today, and everybody younger than me is what I'm saying, the kids and everybody, they're picking up the torch and they're saying, we want a better world. Now, not everybody. So yes, there are those who aren't, but I think that the young people are going to pick up the torch that we started. Fran says, oh, there was a message coming and then Fran retracted it, so I'm not sure what was being said then. Let's get our message, shall we? Okay, I'm hearing right. If you heard right, our intuition's in sync. If you heard left, then left is a message you need to pay attention to. And Fran says, it's me, Marian. Hi. Hi, Fran. So glad you could join us. Okay, here's what our message is for the week or the month, however you want to look at it. You recognize that which you are. You recognize that which you are. And the mantra that Phillip gave us is very simple. I am love. I am love. And by the way, that's page 349. And if we keep saying that over and over and over and over, we're going to start believing it. I am love. And the truth be known, that is exactly what we are. I am love. That doesn't mean a passive sit by and go, I am love, which we did some of that in the 60s. But what it means is we can turn everything into the answer of love. We don't have to have school shootings. We don't have to have destructive wars. Not if we're love. And we don't have to, depression comes for a reason, because it gives you the opportunity to then, with help from professionals who are there to help you, with help, work your way out of it. And then you've created a new pathway that others who are depressed can then find their way out. And I know that you can do this. Sandra joins us and saying, sending love from Germany. Hello. And I don't know if you pronounce it Sandra, or I think it's Sandra. That's how we pronounce it in the US. So forgive me. I'm terrible with languages. That's never been my strong suit. But thank you. So glad you could join us. Now, if you heard left, this is what you need to hear. Heavy weather hones a sailor's skills. That's page 348. Heavy weather hones a sailor's skills. That means you may have some issues that are hard to work through, but you can. And it kind of is what I was just saying. It gives you the opportunity then to help others. At my age, I'm able to sit back and look back and say, life hasn't been easy necessarily. It's been joyful at times. It's also been very painful at times. But I am so grateful for all the experiences I've had, because that gives me the energy of better understanding someone who is going through something that I can help them with. So I'm so grateful. And Judith says, I heard left, I am being honed. Yes. So if you heard left, heavy weather helps hone a sailor's skills. And remember, that's just going to allow you to heal that issue, whatever it is, physical, emotional, mental. It's going to allow you to heal that so you can then help others, because you're creating that energetic pathway. If you heard right, and this is our message for all of us, you recognize that which you are. Oh, my friends, I am love. And so are you. Please recognize that. We are spiritual beings of pure love, having human experiences. Easy? I don't think so. But we're here for each other. So we're all holding. Francis, thank you, and Phillip, for your beautiful message and love. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And Sheila says, thank you so much, Diana. We are holding each other. We are sending each other love. And, I always, and Judith said hearts and prayers. I always say, remember what Phillip reminds us at the very end, because he always gives us what I call the bad news. But then he reminds us the feminine energy will rise strong this month. Use it to create a more loving world. Thank you for being with me today. And she's kind of like right behind me here, so I'm afraid to move, but we'll move her before. And that's not unusual. She likes to be close. Thank you from Piper, Lily, who's asleep in the other room, and all of us here in our sacred space. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for receiving our love. And thank you for the love you send to us. Have a terrific week. I'll see you next week. And don't forget, we're holding you. We're holding you, Simma. And forgive me if I'm not saying your name right, but we're holding you. And Francis, love you too. Thank you. Simma, let us know how you're doing. Thank you. Bye for now.